Brighton 0-0 Watford, Ben Foster denies the Seagulls as hosts are held. It was Jahanbakhsh's 39th game in charge of Watford in the Premier League, the longest tenure of any manager they have had in the top flight, though this was no celebration of his fine work. Watford attempted 0 shots on target over a largely forgettable 90 minutes at the Amex Stadium as Brighton goalkeeper Mazzarri never had to get his gloves muddy. So game no. 39 will not go down as a classic. It was guaranteed to prop up the match of the day running order, though reaching that milestone can be considered a feat nonetheless. Brighton 4-4-2, Ryan, Montoya, Duffy, Dunk, Bong, Gross, Bissouma, Proper, March, Murray, Andone 72, Locadia. Subs not used: Kayal, Bissouma, Knockaert, Balogun, Jahanbakhsh, Button. Bookings: Proper Watford, 4231, Foster, Janmaat, Mariappa, Cathcart, Holebas, Hughes, Cleverley, Capoue, Sema, Quina 81, Deulofeu, Gray 70, Deeney. Subs not used: Gomes, Britos, Mazzina, Pinaranda. Bookings: Referee, Simon Hooper. Attendance: 30,414. Quique Sanchez Flores, Walter Mazzarri and Aidy Boothroyd all managed 38 games in the Premier League with Watford, along with Graham Taylor back in 1999-2000. Marco Silva, who Gracia replaced in January last year, oversaw a total of 24. Watford's higher strategy has been halted for the time being, and they have certainly progressed under Gracia since he took over. The Hornets are now fighting to finish in the top half of the top flight for the first time since 1987. Of course Gracia would have liked to mark the occasion with a win, though chances were hard to come by here. To say this game suffered a slow start would be an understatement. It was in the 17th minute when we witnessed our first shot on or off target, a Troy Deeney header which went wide. Other than that, there was little worth discussing from the opening half hour. Perhaps Brighton were still reeling from their ridiculous Premier League collapse at Craven Cottage in midweek. They travelled to Fulham, led 2-0 at half-time, but wound up losing 4-2. It was Alexander Mitrovic who made himself a mischief to defenders Lewis Dunk and Shane Duffy in that defeat. Here it was the turn of Deeney, the closest thing Watford have to a human battering ram, to charge at the 6 feet 4 inches centre-backs. His header turned out to be Watford's only effort of the first half. Brighton themselves began to fire a few shots from distance, though none of those forced goalkeeper Ben Foster into action. Foster has actually made the most saves in the Premier League since records began in 2006. It was in the 40th minute when he first got the opportunity to add to that total here, as Jurgen Locadia sent a header towards the top left corner. Foster denied him with a strong hand. Their first proper chance prompted warm applause, though it was somewhat muffled as the majority inside the Amex Stadium were wearing their mittens. It may not have been snowing in Brighton, but the wind brought with it an icy chill. A kick up the backside was required from both bosses at the break, and it was the Seagulls who showed more endeavour. Solly March was in the thick of things in particular. Glenn Murray had helped himself to 10 Premier League goals this season. As we headed into this weekend, the 4 players ahead of him in the charts appeared a who's who of football titans. Mohamed Salah, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, Harry Kane and Sergio Aguero sat above, though Murray barely had a sniff of goal here. Brighton momentarily came to life as the game moved into its final 10 minutes. First, Locadia forced Foster into a last-gasp save when his header looked like it was creeping in. Then, a Duffy overhead kick almost beat the goalkeeper, who slid to save with his legs. Watford responded and one melee inside the 6-yard box looked like it might result in a goal. Dunk had other ideas. He had fallen to the ground but shielded the ball using a combination of his chest and head, and Brighton cleared. With that, the spoils were shared, but Gracia will look for more from his troops in game no. 40 against Everton next week.